we see a person we'd like to talk to. First impressions are important. How do we begin the conversation in ways that are more likely to make it a positive experience?
We could pay the person a compliment, maybe they have a unique cool fashion or haircut.
Excellent idea. As long as you do it without being creepy. Compliments make a person feel good, and that's a great way to start.
That could seem a little flirty. What if we just asked someone for some information?
Also a good idea. People like to help others. Asking for some form of assistance allows that person to help you, which feels good for them. In fact, if you ever find yourself needing help for some reason, that's a great opportunity to reach out to somebody in a humble way, and that allows them to be the good person by helping you. You could also ask them their opinion on something or share something positive. Or you could give them a compliment, then immediately ask a question, as in, "Hey, great jacket. Where did you find that?" If you know you will be talking to somebody in advance, you could also do some research to learn a little about them. Maybe check out their social media. Do they like sports, hip-hop, a certain entertainer? All of these become potential topics of discussion that can get a conversation rolling. Okay, let's say we started the conversation, it's going well, but it feels like we may have said most of what we had to say. How can we now end the conversation in a strong but friendly way?
I like to say thank you, to show I am grateful, but also to signal an end as we usually say thank you at the end of things.
Amazing. Expressing gratitude is fantastic, especially if you do it in an authentic way and with a smile to really make the point, thank you for this fun conversation.
Sometimes I will end one conversation by planning the next one. So something like, can we continue talking about this tomorrow?
Also great. You're showing an interest to continue while signaling an end for now.
What really bothers me is when people keep seeming to end a conversation, but then they say something new.
Right. It's best to be clear and firm in your ending, like both of the examples we just discussed. Say thank you or plan the next meeting, then stop and leave with a smile. Don't give in to the temptation to add a little more. Okay, great. So now let's boil this down to some simple tips. When we start a conversation, we try to start with something nice, like a compliment, and with something that might get a conversation rolling, like a request for information or help. Questions are really a great place to start. When we end a conversation, we do it clearly and directly. We act grateful for the conversation and then appropriately show an interest to talk more in the future. But then we stop talking and leave. But always keeping in mind what works for others may not work for you. And part of practicing is finding out what you're comfortable with and what works for you. So keep these tips in mind, but then try different things. If you find an approach that works well, consider sharing it in the chat so others can try your strategy or tip. All right, cool. You ready to practice?